Stop scrolling through boring crochet patterns that look like your grandma made them in the 80s. I'm about to show you handmade crochet pieces so stunning that people will literally stop you on the street to ask where you bought them. And the baby items, they're so adorable you might just start crying.
You walk into those fancy home stores,
I get it. You've seen crochet before. Maybe you think it's just blankets and scarves.
But here's the thing.
But what I'm showing you today is going to completely change how you see this craft. We're talking about pieces that look like they came straight out of a luxury boutique, but you can actually make them yourself at home. And trust me, by the end of this video, you're going to want to grab your hook and yarn immediately.
Today, I'm breaking
Here's the thing that nobody talks about. Most crochet patterns out there are either super basic and boring, or they're so complicated that you need a PhD just to understand the instructions. You want to make something beautiful, something that actually looks professional and modern, but you don't know where to start. And when it comes to baby items, you want something that's not only cute, but also safe, soft, and practical. The problem is finding designs that check all these boxes without making you want to pull your hair out in frustration.
If you're already into crochet,
let me walk you through some of the most incredible crochet pieces that are actually achievable, even if you're not a crochet master. First up, we need to talk about texture. This is what separates amateur crochet from professional-looking work. Instead of just doing the same stitch over and over, you want to play with different stitch combinations. The bobble stitch, the popcorn stitch, the puff stitch. These create dimensions that make your work pop.
And they definitely don't give you that proud feeling when someone compliments them.
Now, I know what you're thinking. A tote bag sounds boring, but imagine this. A structured bag using the moss stitch with a beautiful contrasting color for the handles. You add some wooden buttons as decoration on the side. Suddenly, this isn't just a bag your mom would use for groceries. This is something people see on Instagram and immediately want to know where it's from. The moss stitch gives it that expensive woven texture that looks insanely complex, but is actually just single crochet and chain stitches alternating. That's it. Now let's talk about wearables, because this is where things get really exciting. Cardigans are having a massive moment right now, but not your typical chunky, oversized cardigan. I'm talking about fitted, cropped cardigans with beautiful stitch patterns. The granny square cardigan trend took over social media for a reason. Each square can be a different color, or you can do a gradient effect. The squares connect to create this vintage yet modern look that works with literally any outfit. You can dress it up, dress it down, and people will ask you about it every single time you wear it. Crop tops are another game changer. A simple halter top using the shell stitch takes maybe 6 hours to make, and it looks like something you'd pay serious money for at a beach boutique. The shell stitch creates these beautiful fan shapes that have movement and flow. You can adjust the length, play with colors, add ties or buttons. The possibilities are endless, and the compliments you'll get are guaranteed. But here's where things get really interesting. Home decor items, a chunky crochet poof ottoman can completely transform a room. Using super bulky yarn and working in the round, you create this cozy, textured piece that looks like it costs hundreds of dollars. You can stuff it with old clothes or blankets you don't use anymore, which makes it eco-friendly too. Place it in a reading nook, use it as extra seating, or just as a statement piece in your living room. The texture alone makes the entire room feel more intentional and designed.
These are
wall
insanely
hangings
practical,
are
and they
another
look
beautiful
amazing.
option that people absolutely
We're talking
love. Using different yarn weights, colors, and incorporating elements like wooden dowels or
perfect for
driftwood,
organizing
you can create artwork for your
living
walls.
room,
Macrame gets all the attention, but crochet wall hangings have this softer, more intricate look.
Comes from
You can make them as simple or as complex as you want. A basic circle worked in rounds with different colored yarn creates a mandala effect that's honestly mesmerizing to look at. Now let's dive deep into baby crochet items, because this is where your heart is going to melt.
And put together.
Baby cardigans,
and unlike
pastel
those wire
colors,
baskets
using
from the
the
store,
softest yarn you can find, we're talking about yarn specifically made for baby
table runners
skin
are another
that are hypoallergenic and gentle. A simple pattern with wooden buttons creates something so precious that it becomes an heirloom
every
piece.
meal feel special.
Parents keep these items forever. They take photos of their babies wearing them and then save them for future grandchildren. You're not just making a cardigan, you're creating a memory. Baby blankets are the obvious choice, but the way you approach them makes all the difference. Instead of a basic granny square blanket, consider a chevron pattern with soft color transitions. Imagine white fading into the palest blue, then into a soft
Let's talk
gray.
about plant hangers
The ripple effect of the chevron creates visual interest, and the color gradient makes it look custom and high-end. You can add a simple border and a contrasting color to frame the whole piece. These blankets become the backdrop for hundreds of baby photos,
to your space
and parents
solves the
treasure
problem
them.
of limited surface area.
Stuffed animals
You
and
can make
toys
simple
are where you
three-strand
can really
hangers
let
or
your creativity
complex
shine.
multi-tiered
A
ones that
simple
hold several
bunny
plants.
pattern using the
The pattern
amigurumi
usually
technique
involves creating
creates a toy that's
long
safer than
chains,
most store-bought
working them
options
into a
because
circular
you
base
control exactly
and knotting
what goes
them
into
together
it.
at intervals.
No small parts
Use
that can
natural
come off,
cotton
no
rope for
harsh
that organic,
chemicals or
earthy
dyes.
look,
You can
or dyed
customize
yarn to
colors,
match your
add little
decor.
details
Hang
like
them near
embroidered
windows where
eyes or
plants
a
will
stitched
thrive
nose.
and watch your
Make it in a
space
baby's nursery
transform
colors
into
so
an
it
urban
coordinates with their
jungle.
room. Parents
Coasters
go crazy
might
for
seem
handmade
small,
toys
but they're
because
the
they feel
perfect beginner
personal and
project
made
that
with love.
actually serves a
Booties
purpose.
and baby
A
shoes
set
are
of
smaller
crocheted
projects
posters
that
and
make
fun
perfect
colors
gifts.
or patterns
Little
protects
Mary
your
Jane
furniture
style
and
shoes
adds
with a button
personality.
strap.
You can make
or
a
simple
match your
booties
room's
that
color
look
scheme
like sneakers
or go
or boots.
bold with contrasting
These tiny
shades.
items take
The
just
key
a couple
is using
of hours to
cotton
make,
yarn
but
that
the
won't felt
cuteness
or
factor
stick
is
to
off
glasses.
the charts.
Patterns
And here's
can
the
be
practical
simple
part.
circles,
They actually
squares,
stay on
hexagons,
babies'
or
feet
more
better than a
complex
lot of
designs
store-bought
like
options
flowers or
because you can
geometric shapes.
customize the fit.
Make a set of 6 or 8.
Headbands
Tie
and
them with a
hats for
ribbon,
babies
and
are another
you've also
winner.
got a
A simple
fantastic
beanie
handmade
with a
gift.
top knot or
Every
a
time someone
headband with
sets
a
down their
flower
coffee,
or bow
they'll think of
attached.
you.
You can make these in every
if you
color
want to go
imaginable.
big,
The best part
a
is they
crochet
work up
poof
so
is
quickly
where
that
it's
you
at.
can make a whole
These
collection.
floor cushions are
different
trendy,
colors for different
comfortable,
outfits,
and surprisingly
seasonal
sturdy when
options,
done
special
right.
occasion pieces.
You're essentially
a cream-colored
crocheting a
bonnet
large
with a delicate
cylindrical
lace
or
pattern
square
for
cushion
newborn
that you
photos
stuff with old
becomes
clothes,
a keepsake that
fabric
families
scraps,
hold
or
on to
polyfill.
forever.
The project
Changing
takes
pad
time
covers
because you're
might
working
not
with
sound
a lot
exciting,
of
but
yarn.
hear me out.
But the result is
handmade
worth it.
cover in
Chunky
beautiful
poof
colors
in a neutral
that
color
coordinate with the
becomes
nursery
extra seating
makes
in your
even
living
diaper
room.
changes feel more
Put
special.
one in a corner
You
with
can
a
make
small
them with
side
elastic
table and lamp,
edges so
and
they
you've
fit
created a
snugly,
reading nook.
and they're machine
Kids
washable,
love them
which
too.
is obviously
And
essential.
unlike store-bought poofs,
It's one
they
of
can
those
cost
items that
$200
parents
or
didn't know
more.
they wanted
Your
until they
materials
see
might run
it.
you 40 or 50
Milestone
bucks.
blankets are
Blankets are
huge
obvious,
right now.
but let
These
me
are
tell you
blankets
why
with
they
a
matter for
design
home
that
decor.
allows parents
A
to take
beautifully
monthly photos
crocheted
of their
blanket
babies
isn't
showing
just
their
for
growth.
warmth.
You
It's a
can
focal
incorporate
point.
numbers into
Draped
the
over the arm
design
of a couch,
or create
folded
a
at the foot
simple
of a
background
bed,
that
or
parents
rolled in
can
a
add
basket.
wooden number
It
props
adds
to.
texture and
These
color to your
blankets
space.
become the backdrop
The
for a
patterns you
year's worth
choose
of
change
photos
the
documenting
entire
baby's
vibe.
first year.
Granny
And
squares
parents
create that
absolutely
vintage
treasure
collected
them.
over time feel.
Baby
A
mobiles
solid
are
color with a
another
complex stitch
beautiful
pattern
option.
looks modern
Instead
and
of the
minimalist.
plastic ones from the
Stripes
store,
add energy
imagine
and movement.
a handmade mobile
And working with different yarn
crochet
weights creates
clouds,
different effects.
stars,
Chunky
moons, or
blankets
animals
feel
hanging
cozy
from a
and
wooden
casual,
hoop.
while finer
The
yarn
soft
blankets
texture
feel
and gentle
elegant
movement
and refined.
create a calming effect.
Lampshade covers
and the
are
handmade
underrated
quality
projects that
makes
can
the nursery
completely
feel
change the
thoughtful
lighting
and
in a room.
intentional.
Crochet an
Nursing
open,
pillow
lacy
covers
cover
are
for a plain
practical gifts
lampshade,
that
and
new
suddenly
moms
the light
really
filters
appreciate.
through in beautiful
The covers
patterns.
that come with nursing
It
pillows
creates
are usually
ambient lighting
boring
that's
and plain.
warm and inviting.
A handmade cover in
You need to be
beautiful
careful with
colors
yarn
or patterns
choice here.
makes
Natural
feeding time
fibers
feel
like
a little
cotton
more
are safest
special.
near heat.
Plus, they're
The pattern
removable
should
and
be open
washable,
enough
which
to
any
let light
parent will
through,
tell you
but
is
dense enough to
absolutely
create
necessary.
interesting shadows.
Let me
This works
share some
especially
tips
well
that will
with
take
floor lamps
all of
and
these
table lamps
projects
in
to the
bedrooms
next
or
level.
living rooms.
First, yarn
Window
choice
valances
is
add
everything.
charm
For
without
wearables and
blocking light.
items that need to drape,
A crocheted
go for
valance
yarns
across
with
the
some
top of
drape
a
and
window
flow.
frame softens
Cotton
the
blends
space
work
and
great.
adds
For
a
structured
handmade
items
touch.
like bags,
They
you
work
want something
particularly
stiffer.
well in
For
kitchens,
baby
bathrooms,
items,
or
always choose
cottage-style
yarn
bedrooms.
labeled as baby
The
safe,
pattern
which
needs to
means
be
it's been
sturdy
tested for
enough to
harmful
hang
substances
properly,
and is extra
but
soft.
delicate enough to look
The
intentional.
quality of your yarn
Many traditional patterns
directly
work
affects the
perfectly here,
quality
but
of
you
your
can
finished
also
piece.
modernize them with color choices
Color
and yarn
selection
types.
can make
Hang
or
them
break
on a
a project.
tension rod or
Instead
sew them
of
directly
using
to a wooden
bright
dowel.
primary colors for everything,
Let's not forget about
consider
decorative
muted
garlands.
tones, earthy
These aren't just
colors,
for
or
holidays.
pastels.
A crochet
These feel
garland
more
can be
modern and
permanent
sophisticated.
decor.
If
String
you
together
do want to
small
use bright
crocheted
colors,
shapes,
pair them
triangles,
with neutrals to balance them out.
stars,
A bright
flowers,
coral paired
in your
with
chosen
cream
colors,
looks
and
expensive.
drape them across
That
a
same
mantle,
coral
above
by
a doorway,
itself
or
might
along
look
a
cheap.
shelf.
yourself.
Blocking your finished pieces
handmade
is the secret that
without
professionals
overwhelming
know.
a space.
This means wetting your finished item and pinning it into shape as it dries.
Kids' rooms especially benefit from these cheerful additions.
Makes everything look
and
neater,
they're a great way to use up yarn scraps in a meaningful
of your
way.
work. The difference
rug
between
projects
blocked
are
and
ambitious,
unblocked work
but
is honestly
incredibly
night
rewarding.
and day.
A round
Pay
crocheted
attention
rug
to your
next to your
tension.
bed,
If your
in front of
stitches
your
are too
sink,
tight,
or in an entryway,
your fabric will be
has
stiff
warmth
and
and
small.
comfort.
Too
Using
loose,
t-shirt yarn or fabric strips creates a sturdy, washable rug that actually holds up to foot
professional finish.
The size
if
is
you're
totally up
whose
to you.
tension changes
Start
as you
with
work,
a magic ring and work
and check your
outward
gauge
in
regularly.
rounds until you reach your desired
Weaving
diameter.
in ends properly
Simple single
is what
crochet and
separates
spiral
amateur
rounds
work
creates
from
a
professional.
tight, durable
Don't just
surface.
tie knots
More
and
complex
cut the yarn.
patterns add
Weave
visual
the
interest.
ends through several
Just make sure
stitches
to
in different
add a
directions
non-slip
so they're
backing
secure
so it
and
stays in
invisible.
place.
Take the extra few
Mirror
minutes to
frames
do this
give
right,
old
and your
mirrors
finished
new
pieces
life.
will last
Crochet
years
a decorative
longer.
frame around a
Here's
basic
the
mirror,
truth that nobody
and
tells you
suddenly
about
it's a
crochet.
statement piece.
The items you
This
make
works with
aren't
any
just
shape,
crafts.
round,
They're
square,
art
rectangular.
pieces. They're
The crochet
gifts
border
that people
adds
keep
texture
forever.
and
They're the cardigan
softness that
someone wears
contrasts
until it falls
beautifully with the
apart
hard
because it's their
surface of the
favorite
mirror.
thing they own.
You can
They're
attach the
baby
crochet
blanket that
directly
gets
to the
passed
mirror
down
backing
through
with fabric
generations.
glue,
When
or
you
create
put your
a separate
time and
frame
care
that
into
slips
creating
over
something
the existing
beautiful,
one.
you're
Play
making
with colors
something
that complement your room
matters.
or
That
go
market
neutral so it
tote
works
you make
anywhere.
might be
It's an
someone's
easy way
everyday
to
bag for the
customize your
next 10
space
years.
without buying
That
new
baby
furniture.
blanket might comfort a child through
Here's what
tough
makes all of
nights
this
and
actually
eventually
work.
get saved in a memory box.
Consistency
The power
in your
of
choices.
handmade items
You
is
can't
that
just
they
randomly
carry
crochet
intention
things and
and
throw
love
them
in
around your
every
house.
stitch.
The magic
So
happens
whether you
when
want to make